Hi Sagittarius, this is How Love Tarot. This is your May 2022 weekly reading. I am in the middle of pulling your cards. Do you want me to take that? No. So I don't usually shuffle on camera, Sagittarius, because it takes long. Because the cards have to jump out, not fall out. And they're, as you can see, well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but they're falling out, they're not jumping out. Can I have the strength for, can I have the strength for Sagittarius, please, Spirit? Can I have strength for Sagittarius? What does Sagittarius need to know? What will help them? What will motivate them? What will inspire them? What will give them validation and inspiration? Okay. Sagittarius, what I have for you in the present position is I have the Seven of Wands in the reverse, I have the Star card in the reverse, I have the Moon card in reverse, and I have the Ten of Wands in reverse. Spirit, do you want to bring it forward? What is going on with Sagittarius this week? What will help them, inspire them, motivate them, give them hope? What will help validate this reading? So, Sagittarius, what's happening here is I feel that you're letting go of something that has been quite difficult for you over a long period of time. I feel that for a very, very long time with the Star card in reverse, that it has stopped your growth and it has stopped you from finding the pleasure and the outcome that you want. It feels here as if something has come to a complete end in your life, and it feels as if it is, you know, for some of you it is an internal struggle that has taken place, and for some of you it is a actual external experience that feels like it's come to an end of a chapter. And what's interesting about it is that because I guess what you were preparing for was a battle, because here we have the Seven of Wands in the reverse position, and there was some avoidance here, and there was some, you know, there's been a lot of disconnect in your energy from whatever this is. And so the outcome in this particular moment with the present position is that you no longer feel a burden with this. It feels like you can reveal your feelings here in the Moon card in reverse. It feels like where you were preparing to kind of have to explain yourself, or maybe say sorry about something, or like you somehow were responsible for the end of something. I feel here in the energy as if you don't feel that way anymore. It really feels like you've moved on. And so there's this feeling of, I want to say, freedom in your energy right now for this May 2022 weekly reading. Now, Sagittarius, in the strength position, we have the Ace of Coins in the reverse. We have the Nine of Cups in the upright position. We have the Page of Wands in the reverse position. We have the Palace of Wands in the upright position. And we have the Six of Wands right here in the upright position. Spirit, bring it forward. What's going on in the strength position for Sagittarius? Sagittarius, that there's something in regards to money that is it's in the reverse, Spirit. So do you mind just kind of telling me, can you give me one more card on can you clarify the Ace of Cups in the reverse? Why is it in the reverse in the strength position? Okay, they just gave it to me psychically. Let's see what they give it to me in as the card. King of Wands. And so, Spirit, bring it forward. Why is the King of Wands clarifying the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Coins in the reverse? Why is it clarifying it? It feels here that for a while you have not been able to make any decisions in regards to money. in regards to how you can move forward in like a new engagement, a new passionate way in your life. And because there's been this, whatever this is here in the present position, this Ten of Wands in the reverse position, this is some type of obligation that you have has been in the forefront of your mind for quite some time, for a long, very long period of time. It feels like years actually. And here in the Ace of Coins in the reverse position, along with the King of Wands in the upright position, it feels here now that in regards to money, it feels as if you can move forward now, like you've got some type of direction. It feels like now that this has settled down, like it's not like it's over. That's the thing. It doesn't feel like it's over because it's in your present energy, but your attitude about it is very, very different. So it's kind of like where you have not been able to move forward because of it, because there's still this, it may be a financial or an emotional obligation that you're still in. It could be a business obligation or a work obligation. It doesn't matter, but it is an obligation. And so what was happening is that you had not been able to make plans for the future. You have them going on in your mind. It feels as if here that you were really designing your future, but you have not been able to really carve it out and implement it because there is another commitment here. And in the Strength position, it shows here that you're now in the King of Wands, clarifying the Ace of Coins. You are now going to start to make, there's something changing. There's something that you're passionate about, Sagittarius. There's something here that you're passionate about that's now giving you maybe the strength, I want to say, to be able to not be committed to this obligation 100%. Now it feels like you can balance things out because you know where you stand in this obligation. It's taken a long time, but it does feel here that you can now move forward and make plans. Here in the Nine of Cups, it feels as if now for me as a psychic and a medium, this does not have the same meaning for me that it does for other readers. I'm not a book-learned tarot reader, and for me, this Nine of Cups, especially in this deck, always represents kind of like good riddance to the past, good riddance to the obligations, good riddance to anything that tied you down. So I see that in your energy where you're really saying goodbye in a very, very significant way to the past, to the obligations. Now, some of these obligations are not something that, for some of you, it's not something that you didn't want to participate in. It's just that you had to reconcile it correctly in your mind. And now it feels like you can move forward. For some of you, it has to do with emotions, abundance, and being happy with a new situation in your life that you want to now bring forward. And that's showing up in the Strength position. Interestingly enough, though, we have the Page of Wands in the reverse position. And so whatever it is that you're feeling passionate about, whoever it is, person, place, or thing, this is a general reading. If what's happening is that you have not, you've got emotions here, you may have expressed them, but I don't feel like you're expressing them, or there's something holding you back where you haven't begun a new chapter with what you feel passionate about. This does feel like something new. It does feel like it hasn't happened yet, but that's what you've been waiting for. Other things in your life had to align in order for you to move forward in this new passionate beginning. Spirit makes me feel here too that you haven't been able, so if this is a person, place, or thing, you have not been able to move forward communicating how you feel about that situation, not because of the person, but because of how it would impact this other situation that you were dealing with. So there's a certain sense of loyalty to kind of make something right. here in the Palace of Wands in the Strength position, your environment is changing, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're moving, but for some of you it does. It does feel like you're moving, and it does feel like, you know, I want to say metaphorically, you are moving on, and you're doing it with a sense of victory. It does feel like here in the Palace of Wands that, again, this has to do with creating a new life for yourself, one that is full of the things that you want in your life to make you happy. In the challenge position, we have the King of Cups in the reverse, we have the Devil in the upright, and we have the Nine of Swords in the upright position. So there is a part of you, Sagittarius, that is dealing with things that have been your Achilles heel over time. For some of you, it has to do with addiction, right? Because the devil does represent addiction. Usually that kind of meaning, the straightforward tarot meaning, doesn't really come out for me. But in this kind of scenario, I do feel like you've been numbing or engaging in something that you've been trying to that you really don't want to be, like, I feel like it has control over you rather than you having control over it. So there's something here in your challenge energy that it does feel like it has to do with this, whatever this present position is that you were dealing with. So it's almost like it was a coping mechanism, but it's something that has control over you. So we have the Nine of Swords in the upright position. And so you're fearful of, so for a lot of you, what I see is if it continues to be in your life, and for some of you it is drinking, I can see that right here. For others it's another type of addiction, or it's another type of behavior that you know that is toxic in your life. And so it feels here that you're worried about that. It feels here that with this new beginning, with this person right here, or whatever it is, person, place, or thing that you want in your life, one of the things that you do not want in your life is to bring forward the past. And so whatever this toxic energy is that you've engaged in, and it is you that's engaged in it, and it does feel like an addiction. It could be alcohol, pills, drugs, behaviors that have sabotaged your life and sabotaged other relationships, or sabotaged what you're trying to do in your life. It does feel like whatever you're creating here in the future, you do not want it to be a part of your life, and there is some worry and concern over that. Here in the King of Cups in the reverse in the challenge, it does feel like there's some insecurity here in the King of Cups in your energy that this will impact whoever this is in the Page of Wands, meaning that for some of you, you're wondering, it doesn't feel like it's hidden from this person, place, or thing. Now, for some of you, it is, right? So if you're leading like a double life, meaning that people know you one way, but there's really this other side of you that's going on that people don't know, then there is a kind of threat here that you feel like maybe somebody will find out. But overall, what it feels like is, it doesn't feel like that for the majority of you. It feels like whatever this is out in the open, and it's something that you're not being judged for, but it's something that you're judging yourself for. Because it does feel like you worry that how you want to create your environment in the future, and you want to overcome this challenge. It does feel like in the past, with the King of Cups in the reverse, it has inhibited you in a very big way, and you don't want that anymore. So you're thinking about that, and you're really trying to understand how to not bring it into your life in the future. It served its purpose, it's now gone, Sagittarius. Spirit is bringing forward here your overall energy, which is the Three of Wands. Spirit, tell me more. Spirit makes me feel here that you were off course for such a long time, Sagittarius. It feels like in, what they're showing me here in past relationships is that it may have felt like you were with the person that you should have been with, that you were making an effort. But the thing is what Spirit shows me is that can you tell me more, Spirit? Spirit makes me feel here that it's taken you a long time to kind of actually come into your own and be who you really are to you. And it's been a long journey and a long process. And in trying to, whatever this is, person, place, or thing, I'm just going to kind of focus on relationships right now. And I'm just going to focus on a love relationship because that's kind of what's coming out. And so for some of you, it's career. But for most of you, what I feel like it's a love relationship here. And what's happened is it does feel like there's been a wreckage in regards to relationships. It does feel like, what I have here is 2 significant relationships where you, and this is what is caused that numbing effect in your life. And what Spirit makes me feel here is that for many of us, it does take a lot of adverse conditions in order for us to strengthen and understand who we are. Many times we go through adversity, but we're not looking at us, right? We're making a lot of assumptions and we're pointing the finger at someone else. And you know that old saying, when you point a finger at somebody else to blame them for what is going on in your life, you've got 3 more fingers pointing back at you. And that's what Spirit makes me feel, that for a long time in these early relationships, there was and we all do this is something that's normal. We all have to grow into ourselves. We all have to learn through experience who we are. And Spirit made me feel it here, but I didn't really talk about it, I don't think, is communication is key. And it feels like you were communicating, but the communicating in the past relationships where there's wreckage here, you communicated, and the person that you were communicating with in each of these situations, they were, something was getting missed in that communication. And part of what was happening in the communication, because you're protecting yourself, is you were shutting down in that communication. Anyway, Spirit makes me feel you live and you learn, and that as you move forward in your future, it does make me feel here career is good. Sagittarius, it makes me feel that this has to do with personal life. This has to do with relationships that have come to an end. It has to do with misunderstanding. It has to do with past people in your life not really understanding who you are, and you trying your best to help them to understand, well, this is who I am. I'm trying to communicate that with you. But what Spirit makes me feel here is that what you constantly felt was a sense of rejection. And so it's very complex, this reading, what I'm picking up for you emotionally. And if you were to come to me as one of my therapy patients, I could unravel this. But in a general reading, I mean, I can see what's going on here psychologically, but I've got about 10 different scenarios of, whether it be a parent and child relationship, whether it be an ex relationship, an ex marriage, in the workplace, misunderstandings, whatever it is. But the communication from you when the communication has not gone well, you shut down. And that's something that you need to understand in the challenge position as you move forward and you build this new environment. Spirit is making me feel here that it's not 100% the other person, and needing to take responsibility is something that you've been trying to do in this process. And that's why this energy is coming out here, because the responsibility that you were feeling was not real responsibility. It was just kind of guilt. It was wrapped up in this guilt. And that is not taking responsibility. Taking responsibility is understanding why you did what you did, and having enough insight to look at how it impacted your environment, your surroundings. And sometimes we never get answers to this, right? Because we can't talk to the other person and get closure. But it does feel like somewhere along the lines here, you have some closure and you've reconciled the past. Spirit makes me feel here you're reconciling the past with the future. Here we have the Ace of Swords in the upright position. We have the King of Coins in the upright position. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright position, and we have the Four of Cups in the reverse. I want to start with the Four of Cups in reverse. You're completely leaving behind the past. You've been dwelling on past relationships, either consciously or unconsciously, for a very long time. And so these relationships you're putting in the past, they no longer have an effect on you. Here with the Ace of Swords, you're moving forward with the truth. I do feel here that that's very important for you, and it feels like you're rising to a higher level of truth within you. The words sacred truth are coming out here. So there's a sacred divine element of how you're moving forward in your life that is being really, you know, again, going through this entire journey of your life and growing and maturing and understanding what you believe and why you believe it, and putting things in place in your mind and in your heart and in your soul has been quite a journey for you. And here I see you ready in the King of Coins to give now, and to be open and ready to give your emotions to all situations, because it does feel like you've been going through the motions, Sagittarius. And here with the Wheel of Fortune, we have an end of a cycle. And so an end of a cycle, but the beginning of a new. One door closes and a window opens, right? So here again, this very beautiful energy of a new beginning, and kind of like the world is your oyster. I feel like traveling here for you, Sagittarius. I do feel like you want to explore. I feel like traveling. I feel like, now for Spirit is making me feel here that for many of you, there's traveling in your history, but Spirit makes me feel here, this is with a new lens. This is with exploring your life in a new way, and traveling, not just physical travel, but actually exploring in a very strong and assertive way, the world. I don't understand this, Spirit. Can you give me one more card for the Wheel of Fortune in the upright? And I don't understand the traveling aspect of it. Why is that significant in this reading? Why is that significant? Can you tell me? I see. So Spirit makes me feel here there's a history of traveling and kind of like this devil energy in regards to having fun, superficial connections, that kind of thing. And there is a part of you where your life laid in this area. So there was a part of you where there was travel involved, global travel, and it was frivolous. And on the other hand, it was very, very serious, right? So some of you, this has to do with work. And now, so tell me now, Spirit, this thing about traveling, I'm getting stuck on, Sagittarius. I'm sorry, give me a minute. Thank you. Can you explain it for me, Spirit? The Wheel of Fortune. It has to do with a new person. So a new personal situation or thing. So here we have in the Queen of Wands, you're moving towards, so whereas before the travel was, you know, kind of all over the place, it may have been a part of your career, it may have been, you know, something that you did for fun, or you travel for excitement. When you went and traveled, there was a lot of engagement in having a good time. And that could be with your job as well. But I feel a level of maturity here, and it does feel like this is in the past. And it's not to say, obviously, you don't want to travel and not have a good time, right? But what I see here in what this has to do in regards to travel is that you will be traveling. Now, I'm going to go back to a relationship because this is what I feel. But you please apply it to, there's a general reading, please apply it to how it makes sense to you, whether that be work or business. But what's coming forward here strongly is that you're going to travel towards a partner. You're going to travel towards your passion. We've got the King of Wands in the upright position in your strength, and we now have the Queen of Wands. We have the counterpart in the upright position in your outcome. And what this indicates is that you're joining forces with somebody in regards to, you could be traveling to them, you could be moving there, you could be traveling with them. But either way, travel, this new beginning, this new direction in your life has to do with somebody in this Page of Wands here, where this situation has not come to light yet to your person. I know you've got it all planned out in your mind, Sagittarius, but I don't feel like your person has any idea or clue that they're a part of the plan for you moving forward. That's what I feel anyway. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else that you want to point out here that I haven't already gone over? What does Sagittarius need to know? What will help them? Anything else going on? I feel like there's something else in this reading. Let me just go ahead and pull another card. What else is it, Spirit, that I haven't already brought up? Is there anything else they need to know? Thank you. We have the Two of Coins. So you're going to be making a decision. It is going to be victorious. It is going to be something that brings balance into your life. It is something that's going to create an incredible amount of just a beautiful balance, a beautiful energy moving towards you, and you moving towards it, and you being really very different, Sagittarius, in how you go about your life now. And so this is a weekly reading. It sounds like a life reading here, but this is just a weekly reading. And one of the reasons why I don't do weekly readings is because I am a psychic and a medium. And what happens is I end up pulling past, present, and future into the reading, and it not necessarily applies to the week, but like I feel like I've just done a yearly reading for you. So if some of this stuff doesn't make sense yet and you can't see how it's going to play out, understand that when I do readings, I very often get a long period of time that Spirit is bringing forward here. So yes, all of this energy has to do with your weekly reading, but the rest of it kind of has to do with your past and your future and where you are going. And that's definitely beyond a week. Sagittarius, I hope this reading helped, and I will talk to you soon.